Hey guys, welcome to my channel Career Cooter. In today's video, what we are going to see about is what is ATS friendly resume and how to create this ATS friendly resume in a very easy manner. And I will share my experience of how I refined my resume with this ATS friendly environment, and I will show how I created my resume for different job roles and job descriptions and how I get shortlisted in 6+ companies in off campus. And I will share my experience and also the mistake that I have done during my college placements and how I rectified in off campus drive as well, and how I get shortlisted, and all those things I will be discussing in this video. So without skipping this video, you can watch it fully because it will have a lot of content which will be useful to you guys. If you are a student who is currently looking for a job in off campus or on campus, then this video is for you, because this this resume shortlisting is the first process in your job application process. So this video will be very useful for you guys, so don't skip this video at any point of time, because I will be sharing a lot of insights in this video. So without any delay, let's get into the video. Actually, the first thing to keep in your mind is that your resume should always be 1 page or maximum 2 pages, and it should not exceed that level, because during a HR technical interview, the interviewer will look at your resume to a maximum of 6 seconds to 8 seconds, or it can be of 2 minutes also based on the interviewer, but mostly they will just look at a glance and they will ask questions based on your resume. But you also have to be very careful that the things that you mentioned in your resume, you should be aware of what are the thing that you mentioned in your resume, and you should not mention something which you're not aware of. So in such kind of situations, you'll be in a trouble. When any questions was thrown on that particular part, you'll be in a trouble. So do mention what you exactly know in your resumes, okay? And let's see the first resume. And I didn't follow much keywords in this resume. This is a basic level resume which I had made during my college placements, and you can see actually in lot of I have heard from lot of industry professionals that using your photograph, that is either passport photo or anything which reveals your identity, it is not necessary to put your passport size photo in your resume. And yes, unless if they are mentioning that you have to mention your passport size photograph in your resume during your job application process, you can mention you can put your actual photograph. But in all the cases, it is not necessary that you should have to put your photograph. Then in this first section, you can see I have mentioned my name, then contact details, my email ID and LinkedIn. Then I have mentioned profile information. You can mention your summary, what is your character and what you're looking for in this job. You can mention that. Your something about your basic intro, you can mention the first section, that is your profile section or jobs. Basically it's like a summary about yourself, okay, and what you're looking for in that particular job. You can mention that. Then about your education details, start from your higher qualification, then in the descending order you can go, not in the ascending order, you can go in the descending order. I mentioned my college name and what's my degree and what is my percentage, and likewise your degree, then your 12th, then your 10th. Then if you have done any internships or do you have any professional experiences, you can mention that also. Then you can mention about your skills, and mentioning your skills plays a very important role in your selection process. You can mention about both your interpersonal skills as well as your technical skills, and you have to mention the skills that you are very confident about. I know about some basic Java, HTML, CSS and all those things I have mentioned, and if any question was thrown to me on this part, I will answer. So I have mentioned that you can split it into hard skills and soft skills. In hard skills, you can mention about your technical experiences, and also in your soft skills, you can mention about your communication, your interpersonal skills, all those related things. And since I developed this resume during my final year of graduation, I mentioned my academic projects. I have done 3 projects. I mentioned along with the title and a small description of what about your project is. You can just give a glimpse of what is your project and not the entire story about your project, because it will exceed in pages, right? You can give a small intro about your project, okay? Then if you have done any certifications, you can mention that. And if you have done any achievements, since I have done, I'm again repeating this, since I have done this resume during my final year, I have mentioned all those, I have won this competition, that competition. But if you are having experience of 1 year or something, you are not supposed to mention all your school, like school achievements, college achievements. In those cases, if you are having a 1 year or 2 year of experience, you can mention what is your contribution towards a project that you have done, and if you have received any customer appreciation award or team appreciation or anything, if you have received any certificates from as a part of appreciation from your organization, you can mention that as well here. I have mentioned all those things. Then if you have, during your colleges, you might have attended many inter-college competitions and many paper presentations, you can mention that as well, because as a fresher you will get a very positive feedback or positive mindset from your interviewer while seeing that you are participating, you are actively participating in many competitions and all those stuffs. And you can also mention about our co-curricular activities. Apart from studies, what are the things related to studies you are doing? You can mention that. And at last, it is optional, but in most of the resumes I saw that language is mentioned. So I mentioned the languages. What are the languages that you know? You can mention that. And this is the 2-page resume that I have developed. And let's see the next resume. And this is the resume which I have created particularly for the PMO role, that is Project Management Official. And this resume I have mentioned with some ATS related keywords. I have used some ATS related keywords in all those things. Yeah. And this is a 1-page resume. Before I have shown, right, that is a 2-page resume which I have developed during my college days. After completing my college and after my internship, I was joined in a startup company where I worked for several months. I mentioned that in this resume. This is a professional resume that you have to, this resume will focus on how to use particular keyword related to the job description. This Project Management Official will entirely focus on this Excel, Microsoft Word, and something related to communication and your written skills. And I have mentioned those skills in my skills section. You can see that. You can see as a part of this, you can see my professional summary. This professional summary will contain things which are having about your self. You can see what are the things that you are expecting out of this job role. Then it is like a basic introduction about yourself, as I've already mentioned. Then next comes your experience. As a experienced professional, you have to mention your experience, the company that you're currently working in and your previous organization. Anything you have to mention there, and a small glimpse of what is your roles and responsibilities over there. You can see I have mentioned few keywords and highlighted it. You can see conduct daily meetings, manage multiple projects, and identify potential risk, oversee the documentation process, collaborate with the cross-functional teams. And these are the keywords which was mentioned in my job description as well. Not exactly these keywords, but which is related to the job description, I have mentioned it. And also in the trainee engineering intern in Tata Elxsi, I have mentioned some of the hard skills that I have learned during that time. And also, since I'm not a 1 year experienced professional, I mentioned my college projects as well, and also the project which is a little bit small project which I've done during my internship. And you can see then I have mentioned about my educational qualifications, again in the descending order. First your graduation, then your 12th standard, then your 10th standard. Then coming to the skills, I have mentioned technical skills first and then the soft skills. Coming to the technical skills, you can see this is related to a PMO role, that is project management official. So I mentioned project management, MS Office, risk management. These are the keywords. Likewise, you have to create the resume which aligns with the job description role, but also you should be aware that you are knowing this particular skills. Okay, without knowing that particular skills, you can't blindly put all those keywords in your resume in order to get shortlisted, but at the end of your interview you will be thrown questions related to that. So you have to be mindful while mentioning each and every skills in your resume. Then soft skills, I have put problem solving, time management, adaptability, quick learner, team collaboration, and attention to details. And some posts, what are the courses that you have done, and also some at last the languages that you have known. And this is an Accenture PMO resume which I have created for applying that particular role. Okay, then I will show another resume which is Cognizant resume with photo removed. Yeah, in Cognizant, while applying for Cognizant, there was a rule that you have to put your passport size photo in the resume while applying. So I have applied with that passport size photo, even though yeah, this resume was slightly modified from my college final year resume, because this resume was edited in the Superset platform, where there was no option to since it is in like this drive will come under off campus, but there is also a contact with your college as well. So I have mentioned a little bit about my professional experience, that is my internship which I have done. It is more likely with aligned with your the first resume which I have already shown, but in this you can see I have mentioned more technical and soft skills which are related to that particular job role which is mentioned in that Cognizant job description. In that first resume, you can see that under this skills section, you can see there is, I have mentioned blindly soft skills and hard skills, but in this resume you can see I have splitted each and everything, and they have included certain keywords like critical thinking, flexible, quick learner, and quality delivery. These are the keywords which were mentioned in that. So in order to get a ATS score and to just filter out and to get shortlisted, I have mentioned these keywords. But these keywords will not have a major impact on my question thrown on my interview process. But for getting shortlisted, we have to use these keywords. Okay. Likewise, the same thing as already mentioned in that resume as well. Then, yes, this is a resume which I have recently created in order to crack the Amazon testing interview. This resume is similar to the third resume second resume which I have shown. This is also a one-page resume. But you have to mention your professional summary. First, you have to mention your contact details in the first line, then your LinkedIn profile, and then your GitHub profile, which will show your proof of your work that you have done. Then about your professional summary, about you and what is your expectation and who you are. You can mention that in your professional summary. Then about your experience, here you can see I have mentioned few more keywords. Apart from conduct daily stand-up calls, I introduced a term called user stories. You have to mention, in order to quality check or during your testing process, you should be aware of your UI UX patterns, your user stories, all those things you have to be aware of. So I have mentioned that. And then you can see a keyword named functional testing. I have included some keywords which are related to that particular testing role. Then I have also included reduce software bugs by collaborating with the QA teams. You have to be very cautious while using those keywords, because you will be thrown questions related to the things that you have mentioned in your resume, because your resume will serve as an entry card with your interviewer. To be frank, I was thrown most of the questions related to functional testing and what kind of software bugs I have find out during my brainstorming session with my QA team in my previous role. All those things were asked by my interviewer during my Amazon interview. Okay, so you have to be very cautious and mindful while applying any particular keyword in your resume. You should not blindly put those keywords in your resume. Then oversee documentation process is a very important role in your testing procedure, right? If you're writing any user stories or test cases, test description or not, you have to make a document, whether it was rectified or not, whether it was all those things. There was a particular procedure for this software development, software testing life cycle, right? You have to make a particular exact documentation process is necessary in order to close off the bugs. Okay, all those things I have mentioned here. Then about my training, about my internship role, I have included a keyword name STLC, software testing life cycle, with agile and scrum methodologies. This is also an important keyword. Then about my projects, and coming under the technical skills, you can see I mentioned Postman, which is the API testing software, and also about MS Word, MS Office, PowerPoint, STLC and STLC, and also manual testing and functional testing. These are some of the keywords. And also normal soft skills, and also language and courses. And finally, I want to tell one thing. If you want to crack any interview, you have to make the resumes which is relevant to that particular job role. As I have already shown all these things with you, all these resumes which are related to particular, which is not only limited to that job role. There is a lot of, I have shown a resume which is related to testing role, which is related to program management role, which is related to a coding, and also technical support, which is Cognizant resume is particularly based on the technical support role. I have shown the 4 different job role resumes to you. It is in your hand to create those resumes in order to get shortlisted in your interview process, because using that particular keyword will plays a very important role. And I think this video is very useful for you. And if you find this video to be useful, do share it with your friends, colleagues and relatives, and do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, because it will be a motivation for me to make more videos.